Hello and good afternoon. This is Ronald Bird for another edition of Style Speaks on this glorious Thursday afternoon at the Georgetown, Washington Harbor. Not the National Harbor, the Washington Harbor. Don't get it twisted. A lot of people get that mixed up. They go into the National Harbor, but they really mean the Washington Harbor and vice versa. Anyway, without further ado, I have Mr. Carlos Richardson joining us today. Thank you, Carlos, for being here. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, finally, right? Finally, the
Yes,
man,
sir.
the man, the man. He loves a camera. I tell you, he loves a camera.
What can I say? Thank you very much.
He said, I ain't gonna deny it. I ain't gonna deny it.
Why not?
While we compete with this helicopter overhead, it's a glorious day today. We're gonna talk over it. Carlos, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you from?
Well, I'm originally from Michigan. I lived there till I was 10, and I was raised in Indiana, Pennsylvania, and I was there till I graduated college, and I've been in DC for 12 years.
12 years.
Yes,
So
sir.
you know, you kind of claim it now, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, my dad's from DC.
Oh, okay.
Mom's from Detroit, so I spent a lot of time coming here growing up.
Okay, so you're gonna be here a
I
while?
love it. I'm not going anywhere. I'll travel all over the world, but
You always
live
make
in
this
DC.
your home. Well, wonderful,
Yes,
wonderful.
yes.
Well, since you've been here, a lot of, I guess, as I transition to the whole style and fashion piece, one of the reasons why I kind of recognize you, I saw a lot of your photographs, and then we're going to talk about the hair. We're going to transition to the hair, and because I know you represent that well too. But you definitely have a style of your own, and you're an educator, you're a teacher.
Yes.
So that's obviously got to be pretty different for you, and trying to kind of keep up with the young people. I don't know what school grade do you
High
teach?
school. And
Oh, okay.
I have 10th, 11th, and 12th graders.
Oh, do you really?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well, I have some flyers to pass out for you in a minute. How to give out to all your 10, 11, 12 graders.
Okay.
Well, how do you define your personal style? What would you consider it to be?
I would describe it as like bohemian slash edgy at times slash professional. It really depends on what I'm doing, and I take on several personas, so I dress according to how I'm feeling.
Okay.
If I'm going to work, I'm more professional. If it's going on in town, then for the occasion.
Well, what would you consider your signature? Of course, in a professional environment, you have to wear a suit and tie and dress accordingly. But if it was your, I guess if somebody was to ask you, is he normally casual? You like to dress up, sports slacks or whatever?
It's more of
what would be your look?
Yeah, I say it's more of a relaxed bohemian Rasta type style.
Okay.
That's kind of more my flavor, where I'm most comfortable.
Okay. Well, speaking of the roster, we're going to transition to the hair. Now, I want to be politically correct here with the whole hair thing. Because actually, I heard a terminology this past week. This guy was asked about his locks.
Right.
And he wears fashion locks. It's not necessarily dreadlocks. Okay. And I know there's a dynamic, there's a difference between dreadlocks. There's a whole ethnic, spiritual, whatever involved with the whole dreadlock piece, as opposed to wearing locks fashionably.
Right.
So if people ask you how long you're not a Rastafarian, I take it.
No, I believe in some Rasta beliefs.
Oh, okay. So how would you classify your look, and how did you get into growing your locks? Is that what you call them? Okay.
Yes. Well, this month is my 15th year anniversary of having my locks.
Okay.
I started them in college. I really got into Bob Marley, and I was kind of changing and trying to find who I was my sophomore year. And I used to have cornrows all the time, and I got tired of it because tender head.
Okay.
So I went ahead and did a 2-strand twist, and I never took them out. And I just embraced the whole culture. I consider myself like a real locks person.
Okay.
Because my locks are like an extension of me, and so it's not for style, though I do style them.
Okay,
but it's
you
my
wouldn't
lifestyle.
say it's not for style. It's a lifestyle.
It's my lifestyle, yes. Though I have had them for 15 years, and I want to be creative.
Right.
So I go ahead and style them, and I work, and so I need to have them looking professional or changing them up, and I get bored. And after this long having my hair, I want to change it up. Now I don't have a problem with people who wear them for style, but at the same time, not necessarily. At times, sometimes it's flattering, but when they don't really represent what comes with having the hair, then it's
dreadlocks. The term dreadlocks.
Then it's kind of offensive. And we don't use dreadlocks, of course, because dreadlocks means dreadful locks.
Okay.
And it came from a oppressor, and so that's why we take off the dread part.
Okay, but it's interesting that you cleared that piece up for me, because a person who doesn't wear locks and who's never worn locks, and I see that it is a fashion, it's a trend. It is for some people, and some people do take them seriously and wear them for different reasons. So you made an interesting point about it being offensive to you. A lot of people are just not educated. The young people are just not. They just, it's just a style.
Yeah.
So. when you say that you're offended by it, how do you mean? I mean, the fact that you really don't think that they understand the history, or to call them. I mean, when you hear people say the term dreadlocks, what they're really saying.
Well, you should kind of have a little bit of reverence towards your hair.
Absolutely.
And I think that if you see someone being belligerent or disrespectful or rude in public, it's kind of like you're not representing the crown that you have on your head.
Okay.
You know, and then offensive as well. I've seen women have locks. They decide that they want to wear weave for 2 weeks or so, and they'll get their locks braided up. They'll have a weave. They'll take the weave out, have the locks again. And it's just kind of like switching back and forth.
Okay.
And just, you know, it's not really, you're not really living the lifestyle, you know, but it's fine if you want to do it, you know, but at the same time, ultimately, you know, the locks should mean more, and they really represent more the history and the culture and, you know, just who you are as a person.
Okay, well, I mean, that definitely makes sense. Because, I mean, and I think I see a little bit more folks who, you know, use them for a fashion piece, you know, who will throw a wig on top of them if they're not accurate, they don't get them twisted up. Yours always look nice.
Thank you.
And you do get very adventurous with them. I've seen the different styles. So it's almost like, but I mean, has it become, I mean, just like you put on your, I mean, it's enough figuring out, you know, what I'm going to wear day to day. So you have not only figure out what you're going to wear to work tomorrow, you got to figure out what you're going to do with your hair. You know, how you're going to wear it. And of course, for work, you have to, there's but so much you can do, I would assume, at work. But like when you go out, you know, you're going to wear it up, you're going to wear it down, you're going to twist it to this side, that side. So that has that taken up, I mean, is that time consuming, or is that like really overwhelming sometimes trying to figure out just what you're going to do with your hair from day to day?
Not really. For the most part, if my hair is not styled, so I don't have to do anything. Just,
I see.
I get up, throw a little gel, and I'm out, you know.
I see. And, so it's not like a day-to-day thing.
No,
it's in the style, and that's the style.
It's just about maintaining it.
Oh, okay. I thought you did something different to it every morning.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, okay.
And then some styles, when you're talking about for work, some styles have been strictly for fashion shows, hair shows, the more wild styles, and they're done by the next day, or they're taken out at the end of the photograph.
Yeah, because you can't go, you know, you can't be teaching.
No, there's certain things where I'd be like, no, this is too much. And then sometimes I push it.
Do you really?
But it
works.
Have
you ever been like, you know, approached at work? That's a little too...
because they're always neat. I think they're more fascinated by it than anything.
Yeah, okay. And you like that. You like that.
I do.
Well, I mean, even, you know, with your students, I mean, you have high school students, so, I mean, I'm sure you get, you know, comments about your hair a lot, how you look. I mean, you're always dressed really nice. So how important, and where did that come from? I guess to kind of go back to your, you know, your upbringing. I mean, where did you kind of develop your style sense from, and why is that kind of important? I do think you feel that it is necessary to kind of project a certain image. You do that well, and I guess I'm just curious to say, where did you kind of get that from?
Well, you know, the thing is, my mother was always a fashionista growing up. We used to say her job was shopping. You know, my mother went to college, did what she had to do, but she was still a stay-at-home mom. And many days she was shopping. And she always, you know, had lots of clothes. And then my father, my biological father, was a sharp dresser. So I kind of feel like, without really noticing, I kind of got my sense of style, my love of clothes and fashion from them. Yeah.
Well, as far as like putting, I mean, because did you have somebody that you kind of emulated? If I was to ask, and sometimes I ask this question, if I was like somebody that we all know, a superstar, someone in the public eye, who would you compare your style to? Who's similar, or that you would like to think that your style would be compared to?
Ooh,
not necessarily that you look like. I mean, you could say that too. Does anybody mistake you for anybody else? You don't really look like nobody. I mean, you know, you look good at being you. Don't get me wrong, but you know, some people always come up to me and say you look like it, but you don't. You know.
I think I'm more or less say I'm inspired by like people like Lenny Kravitz, or Pharrell, or Common, especially during his Erykah Badu stage. When he was dating her.
Why, did he look different during that stage?
Well, she had a lot of influence.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
On how he looked?
Because he's chill now, but he was very experimental.
Well, he's an actor now. You know, he's in that show. I forget what it's called. I just saw it the other day. Yeah.
But he was very experimental on the stage. A lot of his style, you know.
He still got the beard.
Just people, you know, on the street, you know. Fashion magazines, TV, you know, so you'll see things and you just get inspired and you'll keep that in your head. Later on, when you're dressing for a certain event, you'll remember that and be like, you know, I'm going to make that work.
Right.
You know, put things to the side and then bring it all together.
So that's an interest of yours.
Yeah.
I mean, because I guess my next question was, how important is that in your day-to-day, outside of your whole, because you're a pretty social guy. I mean, you get around, you take vacations, you travel, and all that. So when you're not going to work and doing your 9 to 5, you put a lot of emphasis on how you look,
right?
And sort of the dress has to kind of sort of match. Do you coordinate the ensembles with the hairstyle?
I do. Sometimes I won't wear.
That's a good question. I like that.
Sometimes I won't wear a certain.
I'm like, wait a minute. The hair ain't really working with the little bohemian shorts. I need to pull that up or have that hanging down or whatever. You do that?
Sometimes I think to myself, if my hair's not done, I'm not wearing this outfit because it'll be a new outfit, new something.
I'm
not gonna
so
wait
it has
till
to be like extra done, new, like fresh.
Sometimes. It just
but the little rough raggedy kind of look works too.
And it works too, and that's when I'm more bohemian, more with my Bob Marley type stuff. Because I'm getting into the whole just natural element, you know.
Right.
But as you were saying, outside of school, first of all, I do it every day for school too. I make a point to be dressed for work as well with the kids, and I definitely want to inspire them and know this is what professionals look like. And a lot of them don't see well-dressed men, so it's important that they see this at school. And then afterwards, on the regular social, it can be agonizing at times. Because I don't know, I'll look in the closet and I'll look around and I'll be like, I don't know what I'm inspired by, I don't know what I'm feeling like, I don't know what I feel like dressing. And then sometimes I'm delayed in getting out because I can't leave if I don't feel together. You know? You know, so
I kind of can relate to that too. I mean, I'm not wearing a hat today, but my thing is hats. And I always wear a hat, but I'm like,
you got nice hair too.
Well, thank you. I mean, but and then now I'm looking at myself in the pictures. I'm like, I should have put the damn hat on. But I like wearing hats because it just kind of works with my personality. I have tons of hats, and but maybe 1 or 2 of my interviews I didn't wear. I decided to not wear a hat, and then every time I look at it back, I was like, well, I probably should have put a damn hat on, because I had a hat that go with the shit, you know. But
that's good.
Thank you very much. So I'm like, I just got a fresh cut, so I'm like, okay, why it's fresh? Why it's fresh? Because let me go ahead on and not put a hat on. But I definitely understand what you're talking about, because it definitely makes a difference. Well, I'm not in corporate America anymore so much. I mean, I worked that whole 9 to 5 corporate America, and I had to look a certain way, the suits and ties. And as I've gotten older, and what part of the reason why I do Style Speaks is that I like to get out with the people and talk to people about. I love the subject. I don't classify myself as any fashionista, any guru. I don't market myself that way. It's really pretty much about what the public thinks or what your view. No one ever really asked me. People used to always say, well, Ron, you always look so nice, take me shopping, you should be a personal shopper, come over and help me. And I'm like, I don't really get into, I mean, I probably can dress you, but I don't get off on it. I'm like, it's enough trying to figure out what I'm going to do for me. And I know what works for me, and I know what I could probably like to see you in, but you have to be comfortable in it. So that's what people who do that for a living, that's why I never really got into or don't have the aspiration to talk to celebrities, because they have people to do that for you. And so I'm talking about...
So it's not their real style.
Right, it's not really their style anyway. So why do I want to talk to you about your personal style when you probably don't even really have one? Or you don't really want to tell me what it is anyway, because you got a personal, stylist who does all that for you. So I like to talk to people who have to get up every day and put it together. So that's kind of sort of, but I try not to get overwhelmed, because I've done that. I've worked for Gucci, I worked in the industry for a long time. I modeled back in the day, long time ago. So I've been there and kind of done that, but it's very interesting to see where people stand. And you just kind of seem like one of those people that represents himself in a very positive way. I love the hair, love what you do to the hair, how you represent yourself in the outfits that you wear. You look very sharp today. I like the little shimmery scarf. Did you? Was that for me today, or did you? Would you normally wore that to work today?
Well, maybe no. I try to factor in a few.
I mean, you could have said that this is for you.
But I know it's coming to see. Yes, it is for you. Okay. I know. No, I was cognizant.
You obviously didn't get that check.
Right. So I was cognizant of how I was dressing today, because I knew I was meeting with
I was like, okay, well, you can say, I put this a little extra, in there, But you're definitely looking sharp. Well, I mean, I noticed that you're doing a lot of, you working with some creations, or you're doing something with the whole hair thing. Did you want to talk about that?
So Sonata is a magazine. It's a magazine that I was in last year. different hairstyles as a hair model. And this year, they're having another magazine. They're having a launch party, and lo and behold, I didn't know, but they have my image as their flyer and as their person.
They other thing.
We'll work it out.
Okay. I told you I need to be your manager. I knew who this is. You need to get Style Speaks up in there, do a red carpet up in that piece or something.
Right. And so I guess we're going to be gearing up for that in November. Yeah. So I don't know any details. I'm just...
You don't know? Okay. You just know they're using your image, so they...
Well, yeah, and I talked to Shanti, who's the stylist that did my hair and styled me for that shoot, and he said, we're going to do it big for the show. And I just, to be continued, I'll talk to him later, and, I'll be ready when it's time. But,
okay.
Yeah, so
that's okay.
Right
but you don't necessarily want to... You don't have the dates and all the information to kind of plug
I'm
that yet.
I'm so not versed on the details right now.
Okay, I'm just trying to help you out.
No, thank you.
He's like, I'm just, ain't nobody really talking to me. That's all good. That's all. Well, it's good to kind of be in the. Well, I mean, basically, and that's a good thing. I saw that you're kind of working with somebody who kind of styles and creates the looks. So I didn't know if you were in a specific show or part of an organization.
Well, I work with Shanti's hair models. We work together and walk in several shows, hair shows, and we do things all the time. And so photo shoots, and so.
So you do some modeling too?
Yeah.
Not just hair.
Yeah, a lot of times it's hair shows, but usually it's all about the fashion as well.
Okay.
It's the whole fashion.
Right, the whole look, the entire.
I've done fashion shows. It's my own fashion.
Yeah, because I guess you can't go out there with a nice hairdo and just put a black smock on.
Right.
It's like, don't look at me from the neck down.
Right.
Just concentrate on yourself.
Yeah, and a lot of times these shows are themed, right? So certain hair might be African garb, or it might be a futuristic look. So we've done those creative things. You get the makeup artists involved, the hair person, and the fashion people all come together. The person who does all the accessories, and it really is. They put together some good things. And you just model it.
So you like doing that?
I do. I enjoy it.
Obviously.
And then the magazine is Sonata, hair magazine.
Sonata.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's one of those hair magazines, the thick ones that when you go on beauty salons, you always see it. So it's good because people have recognized me off the street from the magazine. From being a hair salon.
Pseudo movie star, y'all.
Oh, that's so nice.
No autographs, not today.
But I'm taking it back. I'm very flattered.
Yeah, you're a very humble guy. You're a very humble guy. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time out today, Carlos. I told you I wasn't going to keep you too long.
It's my pleasure.
And I've been waiting all month long to meet you and talk to you. And we've been going back and forth. You've been giving me a hard time too. But I enjoy.
we got here.
I enjoy promoting this young fella. But anyway, that's it for.
Where could we find him?
Oh, I said it. We already went there. He's telling me where can I find you. I asked you where can we find you?
Well, in November, look up. They have a Facebook page and everything. Sonata Hair Show. We're gonna be doing some other things in between.
You don't have all the details and stuff.
No.
Well, my camera guy just told me that I already realized that I captured that in that piece. But I'm going to take it back over to him. Thank you very much. But this has been Ronald Bird from Style Speaks in Georgetown at the Washington Harbor. And until the next time, have a good day.
Thank you.